Back here at Strike Gold for 2 more title matches with 1 more title match still to go. On your right here, that's the handicap division title match between William Robbins and Callista Fritz. A lot of experience from both bowlers in this one. William's got a win by 3 to tie and 4 to win. It's going really well for him as he started front 3. Callista started with 2 opens, but as a strike working here, has a chance to crawl back into it. On the left, it's U17, and it's brothers from other mothers, Will Davis and David Jepson, going at it. They're 2 representative short blonde kids. Callista needs this strike to get back in the match. And throws 10 in the pit. Here is Davis. Whoa! Absolutely destroying a solid 9. Good heavens. This is an attempt at a revenge match for Davis, as he and David played in the semifinals of the main scratch tournament. David obviously won that because David's just fresh off of winning his first title. Sometimes really tough to bowl the U17 after you just come off a big victory to try and mentally regroup and get tough again against a tough opponent. We'll see how David does. He's already started fine with the double, and Callista rebounds nicely. Oh, she's got one of those chunky birds. She was I've had like 2. She was insulting turkeys everywhere earlier today. Now she got one. I don't believe her for a second about 2 turkeys. Shred, shred, shred. And nice shot from William as well. The opposite thing can also happen after your first win. You're so loose and so, weight off your shoulder and everything that you just go up and put a huge number. Very high scoring lanes today. Certainly the big numbers are out there. And we still have 3 chances for a 300 game today with Jepson and then Callista and Morgan in the girls title match, because that's still to come. Williams shakes him up again for a double after that 9 spare. He's a man on a mission. He's got that game face on. He just hustles back to his seat and envisions his next shot. Callista, excellent form, some good practice going on there. Look at that position at the foul line, beautiful. Yes ma'am, 4 in a row for her. No back down on this young lady. Jepson misses over there in 3 10s. He hasn't had to shoot many spares lately. Oh, he slides by that one to give Davis a 3-pin lead after that. Look at those 2. Can we please see some birth certificates? Williams bowling great, but Callista can stay right in it here in the 7th frame already, looking for 5 in a row. That's there. Oh! Shot, but a half 7. Both 2-handed powerhouses, in addition to all their other similarities. Crunches that rack. Callista will switch balls and go cross lane here at the 7-pin. Nicely done. Well, the well-chronicled Robbins' story, they are 1-2 in all conference points. His brother Clifford has caught up to him greatly. All these points matter as he, Clifford and Dawson Reese in a terrific all-conference points race, piling on the titles. Oh, that's a shot that's carried a lot this weekend. The 2-pin does not roll this time. And as long as he's winning, I won't make too many comments about his ugly, ugly shirt. Jepson now finds himself trailing. He was trailing the last game too after 5. Won't bother much. See that arm swing across his body that time. Timing a little off. All that power and friction creeps high. Lucky to only leave a 9. William, one of the best frame fillers, does not throw that big hook ball that the other 2 guys are throwing, so he's able to keep the ball in play much better than most bowlers. He's not covering a lot of boards, so he doesn't have to figure out what a lot of boards are doing. Just execute a decent shot, keep the ball around the 1-3, and shake him up just like that. Hounds back to his chair, has a seat. Mug for the camera. Focus, William. Don't let me stop you. Sorry, I mean, focus, William! As David Akers would say. Calista needs X's. Start with one right there. Oh, blistering messenger from Jepson over there. Kind of relaxed over there in the U17 match, as it often is. Yesterday, Dio and DJ really couldn't even keep a straight face when they were playing each other. So very similar style. Callista's head, and you see no pins on lane 14 because Davis just crushed him. Must strike to stay in this match. Trails by 23, gets 3 of them back. So anybody's game if she can, and she does. Wow, great bowling by both handicap finalists here. If only she had those first 2 frames back, open. Great job by Fritz just to stay in this match as well as William is bowling. William not borrowing his dad's belt. Daniel Hall did and had the weekend of his life. Just doesn't get the light hit. William says, he was screaming for it to hold. It did, and almost held a little bit too much. Is that half 10? It's a ton of oil in the middle, a ton of friction outside. And that helps a player like Robbins greatly. But if you get it too far in the middle, your ball actually doesn't rotate. It's weird where misses left leave things like half 10s and 2s and buckets, but that's generally what happens. Don't mess up the spare, he doesn't. Nicely done. 7 handicap titles for William, including some majors. Unlike his shirt, the kid knows how to win. There's no doubt about that. Jepson trails by 22, strike working on 14. That time he holds the follow through, and no doubter there. Can make it a 2-pin game if he can strike in 8th. Right now, this is the 10th frame of the handicap title match. Here's Robbins. I don't know what he said to it, but he got the 5-7 to trip out. Now 228. All right, well, we got a tie potential going on here. William has to win by 3, and if they both strike out from this position, should initiate a 2-frame roll-off, and that would be thrilling because that would require 5 more strikes at this point. Obviously makes this shot gigantic. Says, come on. Oh! The carry's been so good here, he expects those light hits like that to fall. That does not this time. But this is still a super important spare because of where the count is, and see William counting that off. That's a smart move by him. Because the spare here makes Fritz double. Very smart by William counting off that spare. He was disappointed he didn't strike. Realized that he did need the spare. 9 spare for Calista is 214, with +3 is 217. That's not enough. Strike 9 spare is 224 +3, which is also not enough. She must double. Gotta have it. Wow, and instead, the ball hits very weak. William bursts out of his chair as he should, as he takes it all. And what a weird break for Calista, as her ball has been hitting super hard, and she almost 5-7. On a day where the carry's been tremendous, that would have been one of the wildest ending shots you'd ever see. Instead, 7-10 does no good either. Nothing but a strike was going to do any good. A great match ends in a bad break and a beside himself William Robbins. All right, William, I'll be quiet for a whole week. At next week's JBT, I won't say anything about Dallas. There's no JBT next week. Meanwhile, another bad break is Will Davis with all that power should never 5-7. He does, and that puts him in trouble in this match. Let's see if he can make it. Oh, slides by it by a pinch. Gives him 194. Wow, boy, and for the third match in a row, we have all kinds of tie possibilities. As Jepsen now grabs a 1-pin lead on the bench. Even though that going for it cost David count there by going 8 out instead of 8-1, I agree with him going for that because that's very makeable. I think it's worth the potential sacrifice there. David, by the way, needs this to get a U17 win. Will has 2. Oh! Watch yesterday's video if you want to see that happen about 11 times, as Wojo tripped out the back row a few different times, and that is a very well-timed trip of that 4-7 because it not only gives Jepsen the 1-pin lead, but gives him the strike working. Here in the 9th frame, Jepsen's score on the right, Davis's score on the left. Still some tie possibilities, and it's appropriate that these twins should tie. If they tie, we have a 1-shot roll-off, and we'll just do it until Thursday if we have to. Oh, look at this! Look at this! The machine picks it up. That was a 4-pin, I believe. The machine picks it, and he leaves the solid 1 on the pocket shot. Light hit, pins go everywhere. It looked to be another one of those light hit bucket crumblers, but better than that. Instead, the 4 goes parallel and forward. David can't stop laughing about it.
Oh my heart.
What on earth was that? Well, whatever pin that is, he makes. If the machine wasn't able to pick that up, that would have been a 4-pin. Unless someone could have convinced me that that wasn't a 4. Uh-oh, game on in the girls' match coming up next. Between Morgan and Ballista. Now, an important fill ball. Strike forces David to Will to double. A 9, and we'd have a 20 fill by Will for a tie. Doesn't get the messenger to carry out. And here we go. My goodness, what an interesting 25 minutes for David Jepsen.
Isn't it though? That's the same score as the scratch title match. Interesting.
Oh wow, good point too, yeah. 214 was good enough last time, will it be good enough this time? There's the first part. When Will won his first career scratch title, not this Will, that Will. When Will won his first career scratch title, he did it with a dead clutch double in the 10th frame down in Las Cruces. If he can double in the 10th frame this time, he'll have himself a U17 win. Anything he leaves, he must spare to tie. Dead flush. How good is this guy in the 10th frame as well? Well, it's twin-on-twin violence. He could foul and gutter and cause the tie, which would only be appropriate. Cussing me out would be a 10-pin penalty. Well, it stinks whenever you lose anything, but I don't think David cares very much right now. He's got his title. And the most interesting shot I've had on camera in quite some time. That's behind the line. That's a winner for Will Davis. There you go. Excellent U17 title game between two very blonde up-and-coming talents on tour. Still one more game to go, girls scratch.